Alright, so Dragon Ball Super's on another week's break, so I guess I'm gonna do another Dragon Ball Z retro review. I'm just gonna put them in the random number generator, see what random episode I choose to get. I mean, knowing me, it's probably gonna be filler because I've done it like 3 times and it's always filler. So 120. Okay, what would that be? Oh crap, is that gonna be Garlic Jr.? Oh god, it's probably gonna be Garlic Jr., isn't it? That's just my luck. Like seriously, I could have gotten like any episode of Dragon Ball Z to review, and I have to review stupid Garlic Jr. Yeah, that's totally. Okay, good. It's not part of Garlic Jr. It's part of the artificial humans. All right, so 120. What is that? That is okay. Here, Frieza halved by a single blow, another Super Saiyan. Why does that sound familiar? Hang on, wait. Is that episode? Is it this one? Hang on, is it? Oh, hell yes! Hello everyone, my name is Gabby, the year is 1991, and it's time for another Dragon Ball Z review. This time reviewing episode 120. The mysterious boy faces Frieza and his father. While he seems just like an average earthling, he manages to take out all of Frieza's soldiers with just his sword. Then only Frieza and King Cold are left. The boy tells them that they made a major miscalculation in thinking that Son Goku is the only Super Saiyan. There's another one standing right in front of them. The boy powers up and transforms into a Super Saiyan. Same gold hair, same eyes, everything. Frieza panics and attacks the boy, but to no avail. He can handle everything Frieza throws at him. And when a huge blast seems to destroy him, he hides, and while Frieza is off guard, lunges at him in midair and cuts him in half with his sword. According to Filler Watch, this is basically all canon material. The only there's like padding maybe, but no really obvious filler scenes. So, what did I like about this episode? Okay, I kind of want to say all of it, but I can't say all of it, but oh my god, this episode, I am just, I guess you could say it's not necessarily good or bad, just complete bewilderment. I am just so surprised. I was not expecting this to happen. When everyone was saying that Frieza's coming back, Frieza is like a cyborg now, I thought this arc was just going to be about, Frieza's revenge. It was going to be something kind of like Piccolo Daimao. He gets defeated by Goku, and then he comes back in a stronger form, and then Goku has to defeat him again, but nope, I was not expecting this to happen. That Frieza gets killed within a few episodes by a random other stranger we have never met before, who is also a Super Saiyan. That wasn't just, it wasn't just like a bluff, and it wasn't just like some other thing that looks like a Super Saiyan. He clearly says he is a Super Saiyan. He's got the same kind of gold hair, he's got the same eyes, everything is the same as basically the form that Goku obtained against Frieza. That is just so weird. I was not expecting that to happen at all, because, you thought that Goku was going to keep that edge over the rest of the characters for a while, but now we've got someone else, and the Super Saiyan transformation is given to someone we've never even met before. He doesn't even have a name in the end credits. He's just listed as, boy. What? This is ridiculous. This is actually one of those things where it's I almost feel like I don't buy this, but this is part of the show, and the way they handle it is just so cool. I mean, it doesn't hurt that this episode was just a really good animation day. Everything just looked on point. But then, everything they do is just try to make this look as cool as possible. They use these really nice lingering shots on the boy's face after he goes Super Saiyan, looking at those eyes, that piercing stare. And it's the kind of thing that, honestly, even the fight with Frieza, they weren't very good with that with Goku's fight, when Goku was a Super Saiyan, because oftentimes, the animation days weren't very good, and that stare, it was just, you could just feel the intensity. This episode was just so surprising, but awesome because it was surprising. I was not expecting this. And the way they handled it really well. They knew it was supposed to be a shock, and they milked it for all it was worth, and it got me excited. For the first time in quite a while, we have gotten a real kind of mystery. We've got mystery in this arc, and it's all really centered around this boy right now. We don't know who he is. We don't know where he comes from. We don't know how he's a Super Saiyan. We don't know how he's so strong, and we don't know how he knows Goku. Like, he says that he's heard of Goku, but we've never heard of him. So it's really interesting right now. Like, the fact that this is really mysterious and we don't really know where this is going. I mean, like, I'm sure you guys know, like, when the Frieza arc was going on, I was like, sometimes I was criticizing it because I felt like pretty much from the moment that Goku arrived on Namek, I pretty much, like, it was sort of obvious what direction the story was going to take, but here, there's just so many mysteries piling up, and I don't know what direction it's going to take. And that just makes it so exciting to tune into next week and the week after and the week after until we kind of understand what's going on. I mean, speculation is running wild over who this guy is. And while I feel like some of the people who've kind of gotten like manga leaks from Japan probably know who this guy is and what he is, but I'm like, don't spoil it for me. I mean, like, obviously he is a Saiyan, so if I'm gonna like give it my 2 cents, I would have said that like, obviously, maybe Frieza was mistaken when he said that he, like, wiped out all the Saiyans, and maybe he's, like, a survivor from another planet, and now he's come up here because he's heard of Goku or something. But then, like, last episode, people were saying that he has, like, a Capsule Corp symbol on his jacket, which makes you think he's affiliated with a Capsule Corp, but, like, it's not like Bulma knows him. I mean, I don't think Bulma knows him, so I'm just really, really confused. So at this point, like, I can't really give you my predictions because I've really got no idea. All I can think of is another Saiyan survivor somehow who has come to Earth. And I don't know, maybe he's been on Earth for a while and he met up with Capsule Corp people, but he didn't say who he was. I guess it's all really going to depend on when Bulma shows up and if Bulma recognizes this guy. And that might happen next episode. Also, can we talk a little bit about the music? There was this weird musical track in this episode. I think it played like twice, and it's really interesting because it's very different to like the sound, like the usual Dragon Ball Z soundtrack and the Dragon Ball soundtrack in general. Like it's kind of sort of more, it's got like, it's sort of electronic and it's kind of got this sort of almost kind of like rock rhythm to it, and I'm like, it's a really cool musical track and it really, I think, really helped sell this episode. But I never heard it before. I don't think it's ever been in the series before, and I don't think, like, people have been looking around and people are theorizing that maybe this was an insert song because it hasn't shown up before and it might not show up afterwards. And if that's the case, like, holy shit, that's awesome, because in Dragon Ball, like, at least in like the Dragon Ball Z part, we have barely seen any insert songs in the Z portion. Like back in Dragon Ball, we got quite a few, but basically once Z started, we've barely had any. Like, the last one I can think of is basically like in the Z TV special, the one with Goku's father. Like, there was an insert song there, but since then we haven't gotten insert songs, and insert songs are awesome. Like, that is just my thing. If something has an insert song, I'm like, okay, I love it now. So if that's true, that's going to be so awesome. As for what I didn't like about this episode, because yeah, no, there were things I didn't like. It's really surprising that Frieza got taken out so fast, but that's not necessarily a good thing. Piccolo would basically be rolling around in his grave right now being like, ha, sucked into you. You know, when I came back for revenge, I actually had to face Goku again, and Goku had to actually really struggle to beat my revenge. But Frieza's revenge, like this guy who has been such an influential part of this, like, the last arc, shows up and gets taken out so quickly. His revenge doesn't even mean anything. I'm just wondering how intentional this was. Were they trying to make it such a big deal, like have it Frieza, like this big guy coming back for revenge Frieza, just so it would be an even bigger deal when this mysterious stranger ends up defeating him so quickly? Because, like, obviously I think it did do that, but it did also lead to the unfortunate side effect that it basically made Frieza, it kind of ruined a bit of his dignity in that, like, he got taken out so nonchalantly. Like, this isn't even a big deal anymore. It's like almost like, now Frieza, that guy who gave them so much trouble, which is like, oh, he's like just Frieza now. You can just take him out easily. And I guess you could say that kept happening from the moment that Goku kept leaving him alive, and then Frieza kept trying to like counter it, and he kept getting like more and more humiliated by it. So I guess you could say this was almost sort of coming to him, but this is basically rock bottom now. Frieza just got sliced in half by some guy with a sword. At this point, he almost doesn't really feel threatening anymore. But I mean, I guess he might actually be dead for real this time, so does it really matter if he's threatening, if he's never coming back? Also, I'm not sure, like, maybe this is just me, but sometimes I wonder if they were almost trying a little bit too hard to make this guy look cool and look important. Obviously, like, it's fine having Frieza get defeated by this guy, but he was taken out so quickly, and Frieza was doing like everything he had against him, even like doing something that he used to like destroy Namek, and this guy could just take it absolutely no problem when not even really Goku could. And Frieza says that he's gotten stronger ever since he came back as a cyborg, so it's like this guy is clearly stronger than Goku by a wide margin. Where like Frieza before in the first fight with Goku, like once he reached 100% power, at least he got some hits on Goku. But Frieza is even stronger now, and he can't even land a scratch on this new guy. So, you know, like, I wonder, because the point is, like, now this character seems so much stronger than Goku. Like, he seems almost a little too competent. I wonder what's going to happen when Goku shows up. Is it going to be that, like, this guy's just so much stronger than him that Goku is going to be, like, almost, like, not even worth mentioning anymore? It's just strange to make a new character be built up so much, because it's never really done it like that before. Especially a character who doesn't seem to be a villain in any sort of way, or an antagonist. So as for next episode, the mysterious boy is now going to be fighting off Frieza's father, King Cold, because obviously I'm sure he would have had a big reaction to having his son get sliced in half. And it also seems like Goku is going to return by the end of the episode. But I'm really interested in seeing how the fight between this guy and King Cold is going to go, because I think they mentioned that King Cold is actually stronger than Frieza. Like right now, at the moment. I mean, it'd be really interesting to see if this guy actually struggles against King Cold. And, you know, maybe this could also be the episode where all of the rest of the cast actually, like, help contribute and actually help this guy and stop hiding behind the mountains. Because, I mean, like, everyone is all together, even the characters who were dead throughout the entire Namek arc. So it'd be really nice if these characters could actually show up finally, because we haven't seen them, like, fight or do anything for such a long time. So, like, that would be really cool. And I'm really looking forward to see what happens, because obviously I'm so confused as to what's going on, so I just want to see answers. I want my answers. I want to know what's going on. I want to know what this arc is going to be about, if it's not going to be about Frieza's revenge. So that was Dragon Ball Z episode 120. I mean, I've got to say, I think this is the best episode that Dragon Ball Z has done for a while. Like, I'd say basically, like, not since the first time Goku went Super Saiyan did things get this awesome. Everything just looked good. It sounded good. The entire concept of this episode is just so ridiculous, but the way they handled it, you couldn't help but get caught up in the action and the hype and the drama and the intrigue. I've got to say, like, whatever this arc is going to be about, even if it was a little formulaic by the end, Namek was really, really good. So whatever's coming up next, if this is how it starts, this is definitely just going past all of my expectations. Like, I think this could be one of the best arcs that this series has seen, if it keeps up this kind of quality. I mean, we don't know. I don't even know what this arc is going to be about, but it's so interesting right now. It has immediately caught my attention, and I'm just so hyped for the next episode. So this is Gabby, signing out, and I'll see you all next week. Bye, guys. Thank you, random number gods. This is so fun to being able to do and actually talk about an episode that everyone pretty much agrees is just really awesome, and it's a really awesome part of the series, and explain why I would have found it interesting in 1991 and why I still find it really, really enjoyable even nowadays. I mean, honestly, things have kind of changed, because the series sort of started off as a like, hey guys, stop bashing Dragon Ball Super because Dragon Ball Z has missteps sometimes. And honestly, like, my opinion has sort of changed since then. That, like, I'm a bit more critical of Super nowadays, and I guess I don't really judge it by episode anymore. But either way, if we're gonna get anything out of this series, it's that despite its flaws, when it puts all of its effort into it, sometimes series like this can still hold up. And you know, if Dragon Ball Super puts everything it has into something, maybe that will also still hold up even 20, 30 years down the track. So obviously, Super will be next week, Super Review will be next week, and besides that, I guess we'll see.